one of the ways that I see group dental practices struggling to make progress is simply trying to make too much progress in too many different directions. Trying to make movement in lots of different directions means often that you don't make any movement in any. So having a focus is really critical for group practice growth. Now, when we see practices that are growing very rapidly, one of the disciplines that they have is focusing on the items, the initiatives that are going to give us the biggest result for the least amount of effort. They always play in that field where they're just picking the low-hanging fruit so that they're always making progress, which builds their confidence, builds their momentum, builds their teamwork so that they can tackle the more difficult things as they make progress. But always focusing on what's the thing that will give us the most progress with the least amount of effort is so critical. So I have an example of someone that has followed me around to meetings, conferences, always is sitting in the audience, never been a client. He was brought to me, introduced to me by one of our clients, and they had very similar practices when I started working with his friend as a client. And so what's happened over time is I always talk to this guy about becoming a client and us helping him. He says, "Oh no, I came, I saw you speak, I got so many great ideas, I got this list of things I have to do, and as soon as I get through the list of the things I know I need to do, then I'm going to come and become a client of yours." At the same time, very similar practice, very similar situation, very similar demographics, very similar everything. The one that was a client, we helped him identify what these low-hanging fruits things were. And his practice began to grow dramatically. His profitability grew dramatically. He went from 1 location to 2 locations to 3 locations, now building number 4. Number 2 and number 4 are large. Number 1, 2, and 4 are large locations, complex operations, and he's killing it. And the way he did it was by simply focusing on the easiest things first. Now, sometimes these easy things are very hard to identify when you're in the heat of battle, right? You can't see the forest when you're in the trees. It's one of the things that consultants can help you with is to identify what those things are. So having great focus, focusing on the simple things are the way that you're going to make the most progress in the shortest amount of time. One of my best resources that I have on focus is a book. It's called Free to Focus by Michael Hyatt. And it has business-focused items in this book. It has personal focus items in this book. It's very, very simple, a very easy read, and he has a very, very simple process to follow in order to improve your focus.